Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day, whatever you're doing and whatever time it is. Today, we are looking at Proverbs 27 for our Bible study, and our PDF, which is on the screen, is downloadable. It's free at tobelikechrist.com. We are moving, it feels rather rapidly, through the book of Proverbs. I've really enjoyed this study. We're on chapter 27, which puts us close to our second section, the Proverbs of Solomon. We've got 2 more chapters to cover in that before we move on to the last 2 chapters. I definitely needed our definition section today because there's one word in here, this first one, that I thought meant something, and it doesn't mean what I thought it meant. It is in verse 6, the word profuse. This means pouring out an abundance of something or distributing liberally. And then our second term, or rather 2 terms here, Sheol and Abaddon, they come up in verse 20. The simple definition, I guess, for these is that these are terms that signify the underworld and the spiritual powers that are present there. And then our interpretive principle for Proverbs remains the same. It's important to keep in mind that Proverbs discusses principles and not promises, wise statements, general truths, but not absolutes in every circumstance. Let's now go over to page number 2, take a look at our highlighted Proverbs. We've got one in verse 1, verse 17, and verse 21. So verse 1 first. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. So don't speak in definite terms about what you'll be doing tomorrow or in the future, as if nothing can alter your plans. We control very little about our world. On any given day, we're surrounded by variables that we have no power to affect, but that can affect us. And because of that, it's presumptuous of us to talk about the future as if we know what's going to happen with certainty. Only God truly knows what we'll be doing tomorrow. That truth should keep us humble and prevent us from boasting about what the future holds for us. I don't think that this proverb is saying that you can never tell your family member or your friend what you're hoping to do tomorrow or next week. It would be pretty hard to live like that. It's just reminding us to stay humble about that because God is the only one who knows the future. James talks about this in the New Testament in his epistle, chapter 4, verses 13 through 15. It says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that." Now we move down to verse 17 to our second proverb. I had to include this one because it's probably one of the best known proverbs of the whole collection. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Iron tools are used to sharpen iron blades, and it's the same with humans. A godly friend will challenge you, keep you accountable, speak wisdom to you when you lose your head, calm you down when you lose your temper, give you a second perspective, encourage you, and will keep you close to God. A man without a friend receives none of those blessings. A man with a godly friend will be better for it, or a woman with a godly friend will be better for it, sharper and wiser than he or she would have been otherwise. And now down to verse 21 for our third proverb. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace is for gold, and a man is tested by his praise. Silver and gold are tested in the heat of an oven or a crucible where they're melted down. Fire proves whether or not they're pure. Men are tested by the praise that they receive. The way that they accept it and the effect that it has on them exposes who and what they really are. A vain man will crave praise. A proud man will take it to heart and become even more proud. A weak man will be inflated by it, but a wise man will return it back to God where it belongs. Receiving the praise and the admiration of men is a dangerous thing, and it's been the downfall of countless people throughout history, and very few men handle it well. We always need to remember that God is the one who should be worshipped and not us. So be careful and cautious if you ever find yourself in a position where you're receiving a lot of praise, a lot of kind words from people. There's a lot of threats to your soul in that. But remember that God's really the one who needs to be praised, and God's the one who enables us to do the things that we do. So we don't deserve the credit. God deserves the credit. Those are our highlights from Proverbs 27. Thanks for studying along with me today, and I hope you have an enjoyable day. We'll be back, Lord willing, tomorrow to talk about Proverbs 28.